everybody, and welcome to Dream Chasers. I'm your host, Watchen, and we have a phenomenal guest for you today, if I do say so myself. His name is Mr. Jerrell Horton, and he is the founder of Suit Dreams, which is a non-profit organization here in New York City. So join me in welcoming Jerrell. So welcome to Dream Chasers, sir. I'm so happy to have you. It took me a while to get you here because you were cutting up about the Bears game? Who's playing football today?
It's not the Bears.
Who's playing?
The Giants.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
The Atlanta Falcons.
And
I don't know the score.
Why?
Because
you're here with us.
Yeah, exactly.
So welcome, though. We're gonna talk. We're gonna get a little bit in your business today. So I hope you're ready.
That's fine.
Have a sip of your drink.
Okay.
Drinky drink.
Okay. Pull up.
Go ahead. Pull up. So, when you were a kid, what did you think you wanted to be when you grew up?
My name is Jerrell Horton. I currently work for JP Chase in their corporate finance department, supporting the investment bank. How this whole started, one of you guys is alumni, Naquan Green, he happens to be my fraternity brother. He reached out to me and he said that you all were going into your prom and basically the ladies have already been taken care of, but nothing's been done for the guys. So that's where Suit Dreams, that's the name of the event, it's called Suit Dreams. That's how it all started. So we said we couldn't leave you guys hanging. So that's what it's all about. So I want to get to know you guys a little bit better. So if everybody can go around briefly, give me your name and your plans after high school, that'd be great.
I had the typical young black man growing up in the projects dream.
Did you play ball? Were you good?
I played ball. I think I was semi-decent.
If I asked your boys from around the way, would they be like, he was dope?
No, yeah, I was good. I was good.
Okay.
I was really good.
Did you have people in your family that played ball? Did you know any NBA players?
You know, like growing up in my environment, there were very few things that kids could do as an outlet, and sports was one of those outlets. So
where'd you grow up?
I grew up a lot of places, but I primarily spent most of my time in West Brighton, the West Brighton houses in Staten Island.
Okay.
And some projects out there, and then I moved to Brooklyn to East Flatbush to the Vanderveer project, the Vanderveer houses. Yeah. And
was college something that was stressed in your household, or something
Not really.
you talked about with your parents?
Not really. I mean, my mom, you know, would try to encourage good grades, but she never had a plan. Like I was the first one in my family to get an undergraduate degree.
Okay.
And I'm like one of the only ones to graduate from high school. So she could only give me high level information, like, you know, you want to do something with your life. You don't want to be like these hustlers on the bench. But she really didn't have a plan or a trajectory for me to get on. I had to obtain that a lot from my mentors or my guidance counselors, etc.
So if your family didn't have a history like in the education system, why was that something that was important to you?
In high school, I realized that the NBA wasn't going to do it. It wasn't going to cut it. And I've always had like a hustler's mentality. How can I, you know, change my situation, take care of my family? So I made a decision to take the education route. I saw it work for a lot of people that I read about. I've always liked to read when I was growing up, and I was like, you know, maybe I should give this college thing a try.
My name is Kayshawn, and my plans after high school is to become a business administrator.
My name is Sir. I play college basketball.
Play college basketball. Where you going?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go next.
What was the biggest transition for you once you got to school?
I think it was more so cultural.
What do you mean?
For me growing up, like I had this type of view of what like a real man was, what a real woman was, and growing up, like.
Wait, what was that? I'm so interested to hear that.
Well, I'll talk about the men's side. For me, the guys that I looked up to were the guys with the nicest clothes, the best cars, the most women, the most aggressive guys that basically didn't take any shit. And then when I got to college, I met a lot of people that I would, in my old context, think were corny or whack, or like I would never talk to these dudes back in Brooklyn. But my perception started to change, and I started to, understand what a real man is all about, what a real man really does, and how he acts, and how he can control himself. So that was the biggest change for me. Stepping outside of my shell. In my area, there were like next to no white people in my area.
In Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn. And then going into DePaul, I mean, it's
you were like one of 20 black people.
Exactly. So, when I first got there as a freshman, I tried to stick into the black community, and I started to realize that it was limiting myself. Like it was like very, very limiting. So I started my sophomore year, maybe more so my junior year, I started to step outside my box. And like some of my best friends ever to this very day are white guys. It's crazy.
Now the reason why I asked you guys what you guys wanted to do after high school is because whatever you want to do, you can. You know, my name is Jerrell. I told you guys that already. You know, you look at me right now, you would think I'm rich, and you know, but it wasn't always that way. I'm from East Flatbush. You ever heard of Vanderbilt Projects?
Yeah.
You know about it? Okay, exactly. Front page.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when I was growing up, my heroes was the hustlers. You know, the dudes with the nice cars. Never had anybody who was actually in a profession that I aspired to be telling me I can achieve my goals.
Then you go through that, you're super involved on campus, you get your degree, you have had all these internships, you graduate and you're doing what?
In college, get my hustle on, both legally and illegally.
Okay.
One of my illegal hustles was I would go to white fraternity houses, steal their laptops, and flip them and sell them online. So, I don't know, it was my second semester, senior year, right? I don't know what I was going through. I don't know whether it was a fear of success. I've been doing this thing for a while, never got caught. And I got sloppy. You know, I got sloppy, got caught, got suspended, right? This is the kicker. Second semester, senior year, first person in my family ever to graduate, about to graduate from undergrad, crazy. So, they suspended me for a semester. Worked for Lehman Brothers my senior year, interning during the summertime. Lehman collapsed in 08. So I had two offers, one in capital markets, one in operations. Lehman goes under. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do.
Wait, Lehman goes under, you're suspended right before
I
you
get suspended
graduate.
right before I graduate. So that's fine. I stayed in Indy, you know, I get a job. I don't know where I was working. I was doing like side hustles, like, you know, doing parties here and helping people clean up there. Because my rent was like $200 a month in Indiana.
It is Indiana, yeah.
It was bananas. But basically I worked my behind off, worked my ass off for that one semester. And you know, they were like, you know, we're gonna give you another chance. They readmitted me. And basically I just went hard. Like I was like, you know, I gotta save my brand.
When we look at the media on TV, all we're seeing is, you know, hip hop stars and stuff like that, and the basketball players. Chances of you being a hip hop star or a basketball player is very, very slim. So you gotta have a backup plan.
What is your hope for, like, what do you hope the kids who are part of the program walk away with?
I want the kids from my program to walk away with that tenacity, to know that there's no excuse, you know, to know that I am somebody, you know, I have the tools necessary. Now it's time for me to apply them, because we only work with high school students. Eventually, maybe we'll have Suit Dreams on a collegiate level, but we only deal with high school.
I need them to have suits by the time they get to college.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
You'd be surprised. And it's not that they're so poor and destitute. It's more cultural. Like, a lot of these kids got more clothes than I do. You know, they're fly. They're very fly. Their parents keep them fly. But it's that awareness that you have to look presentable when you go to an interview. You know, a lot of these kids, they're not thinking forward. Like, they're not thinking that, you know, I'm judged by my appearance, and when I go into an office I need to look a certain way, and there's a difference between a fitted suit, and if you have loose fitting suit pants, then you should do the cuff to the outside, and if they're fitted pants, you need to do it to the inside. Like, these are things that these kids don't know. These are things that I'm trying to teach them.
We got the Tuxedos taken care of, but I said we could take it a step further. So I'm throwing a big event for you guys on the 19th, May 19th. Your parents are all welcome. And each guest is gonna come and they're gonna donate a suit. So that's why we're getting you sized up today, so they can know your specific size, etc. So whatever young professional brings a suit, they're gonna put their business card in the pocket. And if you get that suit, that's gonna be a mentor. So their job is to help you become successful, because it's very hard for you to do it by yourself. So you can contact these guys anytime when you have to talk about, you know, I got my resume coming up, I got an interview coming up, what should I do, what should I say, how should I act, etc. So that's the grand scheme of Suit Dreams.
How much of the success of Suit Dreams do you think is going to be attributed to networking? Like, how big of a factor does that play in your...
I would everything. That's how we get the support, you know, the donations. That's how we get contacts with organizations or corporations who may like, you know, the mission, and say, you know, we'll take care of you guys. We'll send you something. You know, networking is everything when it came to Suit Dreams. Like, that's how I got the contact with Sonoras to get the suits in the first place, the tuxedos in the first place.
One of my good friends, Senores Moss from the Philadelphia Eagles. Have you ever heard of him? No?
Sonoras Moss.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So he's taking care of all you guys' tuxedo rentals. So you guys are gonna be going to Men's Warehouse with me in a couple of weeks. We're gonna get you guys sized up for your tuxes. I have a young lady who's, her name is Kate Moss as well. She has a custom bow tie line. So she's gonna meet with each of you guys and, you know, get a feel for your personalities. And she's gonna custom make your bow ties for prom. So they're not here right now, so you guys are gonna be able to meet them in the near future. So that's set. But it goes deeper than that.
We're always looking for volunteers.
Okay.
Women can help. A lot of women inquire, like, are you guys, can a woman be a mentor? We only do male mentors.
Okay.
But we do a lot of events. We do a lot of cultural tours, and we do welcome women for that. So, you know, it's just general inquiries. Definitely hit me up. And I'm on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Okay.
We have a Twitter at Suit Dreams.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good. We'd like to thank our guest today, Mr. Jerrell Horton, founder of Suit Dreams, which is a phenomenal nonprofit organization here in New York City, for joining us today on Dream Chasers. We'd also like to thank Parlor for donating this amazing space to us to tape our interview. For more, check us out on the web at www.butnowwhat.com. Until next time, thanks for watching.